How's it going, everyone? After a little bit of a lull over the last 4 to 6 weeks or so, really December, mid-December into the middle portion of January historically has always been a relatively quiet period for new game releases. We got Freedom Wars Remastered, to be fair, last week, and that was a big release, but I feel like starting this week, we're really gonna get cooking, and then into next week, into February, it's going to be pretty chaotic. One being a pretty notable free game release, but some major titles as well. A notable remaster, a big game, and a long-running franchise that I feel like is going to be a pretty good gateway point into the franchise as well, so we'll get to that, and a couple of lower-key titles as well. But right off the bat, what I would consider to be the biggest game of the week is the latest in the long-running Dynasty Warriors franchise, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Now, Dynasty Warriors Origins is a little bit different in the sense that you play as this nameless warrior, he doesn't have his memories, and you'll be piecing together the narrative throughout and his backstory throughout the game. Once again, you will have that exhilarating spectacle of an action game, just over-the-top action gameplay. Expect a great soundtrack in there as well. Become immersed in exhilarating battles as a nameless hero in the Three Kingdoms. The most exhilarating action in the series' history, tension-filled battles where you can clash against massive armies stretching as far as the eye can see. How will you handle the onslaught of enemies? Your military prowess will serve you well as you fight in tandem with your allies in tactical battles unique to the Dynasty Warriors franchise, and experience the most exhilarating action in the series' history. A new version of the Three Kingdoms from the perspective of an original protagonist. The story of the Three Kingdoms is set in the vast mainland of China, where the convictions of different heroes intersect. Experience the magnificent and alluring world through the eyes of the original protagonist, a nameless hero. Again, from a gameplay standpoint, you kind of know what to expect, and some people are into that Musou style of hack and slash gameplay, some people not as much, but expect an absolutely exhilarating action combat system with an emphasis on the story as well, and it does feel like they put quite a lot of attention on that as well. And again, as far as the gameplay goes, while at the surface you might look at it, okay, this is a mindless hack and slash action game. No, there's a lot of depth to it as well. A variety of difficulty options, the utilization of various different combos and moves, and your character progressing throughout the entirety of the game and developing new skills, new abilities, new weapons will be there as well. And you've got so many different weapon styles that you'll be able to play with all of them and see which one really fits your playstyle the best, whether it be a sword, a spear, or so many more options that will be available to you. You've got gauntlets, wheels, staffs, twin pikes, and so much more. A lot of depth into everything that's available. And while you're battling, you're gonna have your companions as well, depending on the battlefield. You can choose companions to fight alongside you, and on top of that, you can switch to these companions. You can directly control them and unleash their peerless power. Since the time you can switch is limited, it'll be crucial to choose the right moment, however. So there is this level of tactical gameplay on top of that. Dynasty Warriors Origins, I think, is going to be a great one to check out, and for the first major game release of the year, I think it's going to have a lot of attention on it, so very much excited for that. Next up, a remaster of a franchise that I'm a big fan of. The latest Tales of Remaster will be dropping, and this time around, it'll be Tales of Grace's F Remaster. Now, I like Tales of Grace's F, and I thought it was a pretty good game. Really, I think all of the Tales of games are fairly good. Even the ones that aren't beloved, like a Tales of Zestria, I think that game is totally serviceable and totally fine. Tales of Grace's is one that I do believe is a little bit more enjoyed and liked than a Tales of Zestria, and I do think it's a game a lot of people enjoyed. Personally speaking, I'm fiending for the Tales of Abyss remaster. I'm fiending for even a Tales of Xillia and Xillia 2 remaster. That Graces, to me, is not the game that I would have looked at. But you know what? Bandai Namco is ultimately gonna eventually remaster all of the Tales of games, so whatever, they'll get to them when they get to them, I guess. Tales of Grace's F Remastered notes that the game is back with a beautiful and easier-to-play version. The game also includes Lineage and Legacies, and after story to the main scenario as well, and they're pricing it accordingly at $39.99. I think that's a great price point for the Tales of Grace's F. A child's promise is the world's last hope. On a lush green planet, 3 young children make a promise to each other that could save the future. As will heir to the local Lord Richard, a prince of the Windor Kingdom, and Sophie, a strange girl with no known past, all swear a special friendship oath. You've got exhilarating continuous action with 2 styles to choose from. The style shift linear motion battle system allows players to switch between 2 very different styles of play. Art and burst, you can choose the strength and range of the party's attacks and the size of the attack and how close or far away you need to be to the enemy for maximum effectiveness. Addition of convenient functions and improved graphics. Quality of life functions have been added, such as autosave, various skip functions, the ability to turn off enemy encounters in fields and dungeons, and more. Full character development and item elements as well. There are more than 100 different equipable titles that players can rank up through battles, allowing them to learn various skills and techniques that strengthen their stats. And Lineage and Legacies depicts the world after the ending as well, 6 months after the ending of the main game. Tales of Graces F is due out January 17th. Again, I'm a little bit salty that we still don't have an Abyss remaster, that Zillia is still stuck on the PlayStation 3. Graces is a good game. I don't mean for Graces to get the brunt of my displeasure about the lack of an Abyss remaster, but man, Abyss is one of my favorite games of all time, literally. And Graces, I wouldn't say that. Did I enjoy Graces? Absolutely. And I think it's a game that a lot of people are going to really enjoy. And at $39.99, a worthwhile price point for that as well. Next up, a major free game release, currently in early access alpha, and you have to pay $30 for the early access period. Smite 2 will be dropping as a totally free game, and it's a MOBA with a third-person perspective. Choose your god from across mythology and weak unique godly abilities. Hurl bolts of lightning as Zeus, master the arcane powers of death as Anubis, or backstab your foes as Loki. The third-person action MOBA, no other game offers combat that feels like your favorite hero shooter crossed with the deep strategy you can only find in a 5v5 MOBA. Feel the impact of every shot, sneak up to enemies and combo abilities with teammates to take down the enemy, Titan in conquest mode, or defeat waves of minions and enemies gods to secure victory in the arena mode as well. Play anywhere with anyone as well. Smite was one of the more popular MOBAs on the market. Certainly no League of Legends, certainly no Dota, but found a audience of its own, and now we have Smite 2. It'll be officially dropping as a free-to-play title on January 14th. Next up, we have Arken Age. Arken Age is a VR-only title, physics combat shooter. Dismember and crush enemies in fast-paced, full physics combat. Build custom VR weaponry. Equip yourself with 3 fully customizable and paintable Hyperion weapons, and explore the Biochasm to find 30 unique mods. Full virtual body. You are a biological alien weapon built with full locomotion and the ability to freely jump, climb, and swim throughout the world. Climbing, nothing is out of reach with your integrated climbing packs used to traverse the twisted routes of the Biochasm. Crafting and refining. Create your own Scarlet Nectar synergy. Smelt scrap metal into Hyperion alloy and craft custom weaponry as well. Arken Age is due out on January 16th. And that is going to do it for me. Again, while it's still a relatively quiet week for quantity in terms of game release, you got Dynasty Warriors Origins and Tales of Graces F at the helm of the new release this week, and you got Smite 2, a major free title and a notable VR game in Arken Age. There's a little bit of depth, even though sheer quantity isn't high, and going into next week and the weeks following that, it's gonna get a little bit chaotic, so be prepared for all of that. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.